Yo, what's up, y'all? Y'all already know what it is. Look, y'all know what it is. We got the boy LawyersForWorkers. Y'all make sure y'all go follow him and all that other stuff. I got another one of his videos also queued up. It's gonna be in a different format than this because for some reason he didn't add that video to TikTok yet. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's waiting for. Like, put that on TikTok, bro. Every time you post a video, you need to post it on both places. Anyway, I don't want to take any more of your time. Let's go. Let's get to it. So without further ado, we're gonna get a full recap from him. I'm gonna give you my opinions on it. We're also gonna get into the DNA evidence piece, and then I'll give more opinions. Let's go.
Week one has come to a close. We heard the rest of Kelsey Harris's recorded interview with the district attorney and their investigator. Let me catch you up on everything that went on. Two ways you can look at this recording. One, it's her honest account of what happened. She sounds confident. She sounds poised. She's telling you every single thing in sequence. Two, you can look at it as somebody who's giving rehearsed statements to police because she's guilty of crimes and doesn't want to tell the truth, and she's got her lawyers on the line and 2.5 years to prepare. So she spins a nice little story that makes her and Meg look good. I don't know. You be the judge. In her recorded testimony, she tells the whole story of what happened. We go to this gathering at Kylie Jenner's house. Apparently, when you go to a gathering at Kylie Jenner's house, it can be pretty cool. There's lots of security, as many as 6 when you pull up. OBJ is there. It's like a hotel. You get your own room to check into.
Damn.
Quite the whole issue of Kylie and Tory and Meg getting jealous and then trying to pull
Kylie
out,
Estates.
and then they leave. And then they come back because Meg said she forgot a slipper, and then Kylie kicks them out. And now we're in the car. Tory's saying stuff like, hey, Meg, why don't you tell your friend what's so funny? Referring to the fact that Meg backdoored Kelsey by hooking up with Tory. And then they're like getting back at him like, yo, whatever, you this, you're that. She's making fun of his career. You're only relevant because you were on a Jack Harlow feature. He's popping shit like, yo, I'm from Canada. Car. They both get out of the car. She sees Tory hop from the back to the front. He's got a gun and he points it and he shoots at Megan. That's the recorded statement. Does that add up and mesh with everything else? Well, how did the jewelry fall? How did the necklace get on the floor? She says, well, that's Tory physically assaulting me, and that's how all that happened. As far as her and Meg getting into an altercation, no mention to the police on the recorded interview. Was there?
That's the key thing, right? If you're a juror, most of the jurors are females, okay? Most of the jurors are females, okay? And if these women want to keep it a band, if your friend, while you're you find out you're intoxicated, she's intoxicated, you found out your friend has slept with your man, y'all fighting, that's it. Just be honest, y'all fighting. Like, and I hope the jurors are honest, because I know all the guy jurors are like, yo, y'all was fighting. Like, no cap. They know they was fighting. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know how the women are gonna respond to this. But anyway, let's keep going.
Police officer or a detective from the LAPD at that interview treating it like she might be a suspect or hostile? Absolutely not. If you ask me, I don't think Tory was the only aggressor putting hands on people. That's what I get if you ask me, when you look at the very different stories that everybody's telling and the part that the two females don't want to talk about. Remember the physical statures of the people involved. The idea that only men can physically assault women is a common misconception and not at all accurate. That's the shooting. Then they all get back in the car. They're driving. Kelsey texts my security. She texts the security. That's the text. Tory shot Meg. 911. Is that a real text? Is that a cover? Then the rest was all of the aftermath, that when they get released, that there were indications made to her from Tory's team that they would invest in her business or that they'd be willing to talk to her about giving her money. Whether any of that was a bribe or was taken, Kelsey denied. And then what happened afterwards in terms of her communications with other people post the incident. She said that she basically never has talked to Meg. They had one conversation. Meg and her team were lying to her and saying that, hey, I'm really badly injured. I'm going to be out of commission for probably at least a year. There's nothing for you to do here. You need to get out of LA. And they basically shoot her
more lies.
Send her on to Houston, and she hasn't heard from her since. The recording ends with the prosecutors asking that, hey, are you just saying all this to get back into Meg's good graces? And she says, no, I'm saying all this to relieve myself of the burden of this. I just want to move on. On cross-examination, the defense highlighted a couple key facts about this interview. One, there was no police presence, nobody investigating or asking Kelsey hard questions. Two, there was no grant of immunity to Kelsey at that time. So if she did have stuff to hide her own criminality, she would not have been immune from making statements, and so she had an incentive to lie. Three, They had asked her during the interview about certain text messages that might be relevant to the investigation, but there was no follow-up. They never went back and said, hey, can we get those text messages? And for the idea that her lawyers were on the line and that this is rehearsed, prepared testimony that she had a lot of time to get ready for and give. Like I said, ultimately, what do you make of that recording? Well, you're going to listen to all the evidence in this trial. Trial continues next week, and then you're going to make your decision on who's lying, who's telling the truth. How did those bullet fragments get into Meg Thee Stallion's foot? And is Tory Lanez guilty or not guilty? Find out all that and more next week for exclusive, additional, interesting.
Okay, so look, that's the part where he tells you to subscribe to his IG subscription. I'm just gonna tell you to subscribe to me. Okay, subscribe to me. All right, because I'm already subscribed over there. So I'll just tell you what's there. I'll just tell you. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna undercut that man. It's $3. Like, pay him, give him the $3 if you're interested. Anyway, real quick, I'm gonna plug my friend real quick, and then we'll keep going.
Hey, if you're someone that craves vibes when it comes to music, like I do, you need to check out Rose Petals. Rose Petals is a 12-track R&B album by yours truly, Fair Michelle, and it just dropped. It's available right now on all major digital outlets. I'm personally inviting you to come and vibe with me through music. Let me know what you think. Shout out to the home team, the Kosher Sound, and you already know we're supporting and watching Homeroom with Smooth. Let's go.
All right, so look, I like her album. Y'all make sure y'all go check it out. I've played it over 109 times since it came out earlier this month, or was it? No, last month. Last month I played it over 109 times, and the only reason I know that is because Apple Music sent it to me. Anyway, I do not believe that Kelsey is being honest. Okay, in that interview, because here's the thing. The narrative that the prosecution tried to play, right, is that Tory has paid her off. But if he paid her off, why would she give you guys that interview that incriminates him? It makes no sense. Who paid her then? Who paid her? I'm more so to think that maybe Rock Nation paid her. Maybe Megan paid her. Maybe nobody paid her at all. But it doesn't add up for Tory to have paid her and for her to do what she did in that, and then to come on the trial and do this. That would imply the opposite. That would imply the plaintiff's party gave her money in incentive to lie. And then she came here, she looked Tory in the eyes and was like, I want to sleep good at night. You know, so she's telling the truth. And that's why she asked for immunity, so she could tell the truth. But anyway, let's get into this next video. All right. So this next one is the DNA evidence, what you're probably here for. So let's just do that. Boom, it's ready. All right, I'm gonna hit the button on it.
Let me catch you up on what happened with the DNA experts. So both of the DNA experts said pretty much the exact same thing with very minute differences. Here's the basics, then I'll tell you what I think. So they both said that the magazine was tested, and there were 4 DNA profiles on the magazine, and you can tell that none of those are Tory. So most likely Tory never touched this magazine. On the gun, they both said the same thing, that there's 4 profiles on the gun, but it's inconclusive. You can't tell if the DNA is Tory's or somebody else's. Now, both experts agreed that you would expect to see Tory's DNA if he had shot it 5 times. The defense experts seem to go further and say, look, if he shot that gun 5 times and then they tested it, you would conclusively see that he's on it. You don't see that here, suggesting strong DNA evidence in Tory's favor. Now, then the prosecution went to try to discredit the defense expert. He's like, aren't you getting paid by the defense? Don't you always work for defendants? He's like, yeah, the LAPD has their crime prosecutor, and then defendants hire private companies like mine to do the forensics. So, okay, well, how much are you getting paid? The guy's like $250 an hour. How much has he paid you total? The guy's like $6,000. It's like, oh, well, it was really kind of just like, look, there's experts, man. This guy's been doing it forever. He's like, are you accredited? And he's like, no, I didn't apply for accreditation. I'm certified by the same people who do accreditation. It's like, well, what does that mean? He's like, well, twice a year, our lab people all get tested. They send them blind samples. They have to do the analysis, send it back, and then we get the results. He's like, oh, okay, well, what are the results? Like, well, we never got anything wrong. And the guy's like, how do we know that? He's like, I'm telling you. It's like, how do we know you're not lying? He's like, well, you can check. I'll show you the records. And then he just kept going on and on. Look, at the end of the day, the DNA evidence came out strongly, I think, in favor of Tory. We'll see where the rest of the trial takes us. There was one other part, the big part, which is that they never gave the crime lab Kelsey's DNA. And so on defense, the defense brought out this point that, hey, if you ever get a case file and there's two people with GSR, wouldn't you expect to get two people's DNA? And the guy's like, yeah, that would make sense. If there's two people who've tested positive for the GSR and we're testing one's DNA, we ought to test both DNA. Done.
All right. So that's that. So Tory's DNA was not found on the gun. All right. Not found on it. Like well, one was inconclusive, but if he shot it 5 times, it will be conclusive. And let me tell you something. Shooting a gun, like recoil, anybody that shot a gun, recoil, and like it's heating, some of your skin is going onto that gun, just period. Like, because the gun gets warmer, you know what I'm saying? And then you sweat, and then like your skin is always like this outer layer is dead anyway. This outer layer of skin is dead. So it's gonna end up on the gun, especially through heat and sweat. It's gonna end up on the gun. Like the guns end up hot to touch, especially when you fire it 5 times. Man, like I and then they didn't give Kelsey's, like they didn't swab Kelsey. That's a huge flag. That's a huge red flag. And Kelsey's the only person that walked in there asking for immunity, which lets me know that I truly believe that this was Kelsey got in a fight with Megan. I'm going to reemphasize this again. Kelsey got into a fight with Megan. Megan beat her ass, which is not surprising. Megan beat her ass. And then Kelsey got mad, ran, got the gun. Tory's like, yo, what are you doing? Wrestling with her over the gun. It's going off. Bow, 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 bow. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you get the instance where, again, nobody was really trying to kill Meg. The bullet hit the ground because they're fighting over it, and he's trying to get her to not. She's pointing it. If you grab somebody and you move it down, boom, 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 and it just starts going off towards the ground, boom, boom, boom. Like it's you're liable to get some shrapnel in your foot. That's it. That's how that happens. That's how it spreads out and ricochets. The bullet hit the ground next to her, which meant there's no intent there. And Kelsey already said in her previous testimony that who said dance bitch? So nobody said dance bitch. Nobody told her to go get a jig. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the other testimony by the witness, and I think he said this in the first video, is you have the witness where the witness saw 2 men fighting a woman, which means it probably Tory and the driver start fighting her to get the gun out her hand because she was with the shits. But anyway, excuse me. That's all I got for y'all. I'm gonna plug my other friend, and I'm gonna get up out of here. I'm gonna combine all these videos into a recap, a full week recap, and drop that tomorrow. That's gonna drop tomorrow, so you have everything, and you can listen to everything in its entirety, just all at once if you want to, and see everything just back to back to back. And you can also see my statements and opinions evolve, because this is probably the most open and shut thing ever. If you are somebody, and again, like for instance, myself, I have a little bias. I have a little bias towards Tory in a way, because I just feel like you have to treat people like they're innocent till they're proven guilty, right? And then plus Meg's statements changed over time, and Kelsey's statements weird, and they're not even friends anymore. Like there's so much extra stuff that makes me in that camp. And there's people that are, you know what I'm saying, they're Megan and they're just diehard. My problem with big media and the diehards is that they won't even acknowledge stuff that's coming out in Tory's favor. They won't even acknowledge it. They just like, you hurt women. Like that's it. That's it. And they just blindly believe. I don't blindly believe anybody. I think you have to take account, sit back, and actually think about what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even going as far as to say, yo, Tory couldn't have did this. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it's highly probable he didn't, but he could have. because we don't know the truth. And I'm waiting for that witness to get the stand. The witness might get on the stand on Monday. I might go to LA on Monday and actually go to the trial publicly. They told me in one of the videos, they told me what time you got to get there. You got to get there by like 7 and just stand there and just wait. Um, I might do that. I might go there at 7 and just wait there and try to go inside. And if I do make it, oh my God, I'm giving firsthand accounts like during recess and all of that. But anyway, hey, thank y'all so much for watching. I am up out of here.
What's up, guys? My name is Megan, and I help people move to China. If you like free healthcare, free transportation, and a free place to stay, and also traveling abroad, hit me up. My name is Megan, and I'm rocking with Homeroom with Smooth.
That's right. Y'all go subscribe to her. Y'all come subscribe to me. If you need a job in China, go check her out because she's the plug. She's the plug. She's the overseas plug. Anyway, thank y'all so much. I'm up out of here.